We were studying verse 9 of the 10th chapter of the Gita last Sunday. These few verses refer to the vibhuti of the divine, and this whole chapter is known as Vibhuti Yoga, divine manifestation. From that point of view, Vedanta declares that the whole world is instinct with the divine, because the world has come from the divine. So it is divine. Therefore it is called the Vibhuti of the divine. And so in the ninth verse, Krishna had said, Macchitta Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Kathayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Those who are spiritually inclined and devoted to the divine personality from whom the whole universe has come, they enlighten each other. Bodhayanta Parasparam. What we normally do in life is pulling each other down very often. But here is the other method, lifting each other up, enlightening each other. Bodhayanta Parasparam. Similarly, Macchitta, those whose chitta or mind is gone over to me. Madgata Prana, those whose energies, psychic and bio, have also been dedicated to me. Bodhayanta Parasparam. And then Kathayantascha Mam Nityam, talking about me with each other. They enjoy great delight and bliss. Bodhayanta Parasparam Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Tushyanti means santosha. Ramana means pleasure, joy. They get out of it. This is called the Bhajanananda and Brahmananda. As Ramakrishna's classification of human joys, first is Vishayananda, second is Bhajanananda, third is Brahmananda. It is open to every human being. First is sensory satisfaction. There is joy in it. Eating, drinking, all sense pleasure. There is certainly joy in it. Vedanta doesn't look down upon it. But it treats these as elementary. There are higher levels of joys. And so the second level, Bhajanananda, delight in singing the name of God, worshipping Him, devoting oneself to Him. There is a tremendous sense of joy in that action. That's called Bhajanananda. The palpable joy coming from within, nothing from external. All sense joys come from external sources, and they are all costly. Money power is needed there. The more money, the more sensory power. You will get sensory joy. But when you come to Bhajanananda, it comes from within yourself. In the depth, there's a tremendous sense of joy hidden within you. So it's called Bhajanananda. And the third is the highest, Brahmananda. When you realize the infinite Brahman, the infinite pure consciousness, your joy becomes infinite. No comparison at all. So Ramakrishna says this and then tells us, the first is too ordinary, third is too high, second is available to all of us. Therefore, Macchitta, Madgata Prana. What delight do they find? Delight in thinking of the divine, speaking about Him with each other. Thus, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. What a beautiful expression in Sanskrit. Very often, people consider religion as killjoy, and certain aspects of religion are killjoys. All joys are gone, dry. That is true. But the best of religion is full of joy because it deals with a reality which is the source of all bliss, Brahman, the source of all bliss, Ananda Swarupa. And so, generally people have the feeling. When I was in Paris, 1970, there was an American lady living there, about 70 years old, Kiliani by name. She died last year. She was the governess of the 4 daughters of this Jacqueline Kennedy's Greek husband, that famous ship owner. The girls became aged, got married. She retired from that family. And she didn't know what to do. She had never thought of God or higher life all these years. Much of the time she spent in Washington and other places. Then one day she saw in the newspaper, there's a Vedanta center in Gretz, near Paris. There is some program there. Some invisible force took her there. There she found wonderful place. Wonderful Swamijis are there. French people are there, devotees. And she read the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna and my book, Message the Upanishads, these 2 books. And that completely changed her. Then she began thinking, why did I waste all these 70 years? What a wonderful joy is there in this. When I went there, she came to tell me this experience of hers. But that is not the only thing. She said, I got a phone from London, from the mother of these 4 girls, saying, Kiliani, are you really happy? Are you in any difficulty? Yes, madam, I am very happy. No, but you are in a monastery. You cannot be happy. Unless you are in trouble, you won't go there. And she was telling me with a smile, how can they understand what joy I am in? That is language. So it's a question of coming to that level. Those who know only one type of joy, they can't appreciate any other type of joy. But once they become mature, just like a child finds joy only in playing with toys. If you ask him, come, let us read a book, he said, nothing doing. This is the greatest joy in the world. For a child, that is true. But when the child matures, it rises to the higher levels of joy. Reading a book, hearing a lecture, thinking about various subjects. What a joy is there in that. That is an intellectual, mental joy. Similarly, still further you go, is the spiritual joy. Joy coming from actual spiritual experience of the divine. So Ramakrishna says, everybody can choose any one of these 3. One will take you to the other unless you get stagnant at that particular level. So the only warning given by Vedanta to all humanity is, don't be stagnant. March on. There are higher levels of experience to come to you. Asking a child, don't get stagnant at the toy level. He has become big with mustache, still playing toys. How unfortunate it is. He could have achieved many higher things. This kind of stagnation is what is called samsara in the bad sense of the term. We often say this also, I am a samsari. In what sense? When you become stagnant at the organic level, then you are a samsari in the bad sense of the term. Samsara itself is absolutely nothing wrong. We are all in samsara. Krishna also was in samsara. There is no harm. But getting stagnant at the organic level, that Vishayananda level, that is called samsara in the wrong sense of the term. So here, Krishna says, such people, they have tasted that higher sense of joy. Then talk of the divine is a great joy, great pleasure. Ordinary, worldly people will not be able to tolerate a few minutes of that atmosphere. That is beyond them. But these people find it quite natural because they are fit for it. They have made themselves fit for it. So, tushyanti cha ramanti cha is a wonderful expression. Religion is not joylessness. I have been asked by householders when I was a brahmachari going around a little bhiksha. What misfortune has taken you to this life? That is the language. Some misfortune, that is the idea. Many of the Hindus believe like that. Any kind of spiritual aspiration means some misfortune. That is all. And generally, that is how we have understood it or misunderstood it the last several centuries. We say in Kannada, Sankara Bantare Venkatramana. Whenever you are in trouble, you call Venkatramana. Otherwise, you are quite okay without him. So that is how we have misunderstood the whole concept of religion. So Vedanta presents it in the most rational way, studying human possibilities. There is a hunger for food, a real hunger. We satisfy it by taking food. There is a hunger for knowledge. We satisfy it by education, by study, by thinking. There is a palpable hunger. Similarly, hunger for the divine. No amount of books can give you that joy, the spiritual joy. An experience of the divine alone can satisfy that hunger. That is a wonderful hunger. So, our scriptures place before humanity all these possibilities and invite them. Go from one to the other. Never be stagnant at one level. Even at the intellectual level, don't be stagnant. There is still one step to go. Then you will achieve real joy, real fulfillment in the true sense of the term. So in the next sloka, Krishna says something very unique. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam yenamam upayantite. To all such people who have already risen to these higher levels of experience, of joy, etc., what do I do to them? I bless them. I encourage them. How? Tesham satata yuktanam. The wonderful new word. Yukta is the word for yogi. One who is a yogi is also yukta. These are all different forms of the same word with the same meaning. As Lokmanya Tilak has said in his Gita Rahasya, the word yoga and its various other forms have appeared over 80 times throughout the Gita. So here is yukta, but a very special type of yukta, satata yukta, constantly in a yoga state of mind. Satata means always, constant. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam. Those who worship me, adore me with great love, pritipurvakam. What do I do to them? Dadami buddhi yogam tam. Tam buddhi yogam dadami. To them I give buddhi yoga, a wonderful yoga. Dadami buddhi yogam tam. The yoga of reason, equable reason as Tilak translates it. Equable reason. Mind is always calm, steady. It is full of luminosity. That kind of buddhi, the best guide in human life. Dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamam upayantite. With the help of that buddhi, they find their way to me. I did not carry them, I did not take them. I gave them the right attitude, the right reason by which they find their way towards me. This is a very great utterance. How does God help a human being? By helping him to develop the right attitude. In Buddha's teaching, one of the great Eightfold Path teaching is right attitude. That's the greatest thing in life, the right attitude. So as he says, I give them that buddhi yoga, This was already stated in the second chapter. Buddhi Yoga. The best that we can have in life is Buddhi Yoga. We can live from the physical level, like any creeping things on the earth. We can live from the sensory level, like all animals on earth. We can live from the mental, intellectual level, like all the intellectuals of the world. We can also live from the high spiritual level, the deeper reality that is within. That is the fullest life. These are the various levels wherefrom consciousness functions. At the sensory level, when consciousness functions, we are happy, we are miserable, we can be good, we can be bad, we can be wicked, all you can be. No prediction possible there. Senses have no direction. At the intellectual level, also the same. You can be good, you can be bad. You can be extremely wicked also. But once you touch the deeper spiritual level, you become completely a positive individual. Love, concern, dedication, spirit of service become byproduct of that development that has taken place in you. You don't have to struggle for it. A rose doesn't struggle to send out its beautiful scent. It is naturally, it goes out. So also man becomes naturally good, naturally dharmic, naturally moral and ethical. So, it says here, Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam. I give him or her buddhi yoga. Yena mam upayantite. With the help of that buddhi, he finds his way to me. He himself comes to me. The best blessing that we can get from the divine is that kind of clear thinking, clear reason, pure reason. Buddhi yoga means that. And the greatest, what you call, bad experience that you can have is to have a bad reason. Everything that you do is wrong, harmful to others. That is why in the Mahabharata it is said, when gods want to destroy a person, they turn away his mind into bad direction. Then he will destroy himself. That is another thing. These little gods, they sometimes make us do good or do bad. Nature's powers are there. So, here Krishna speaks of the positive side. I bless people with this buddhi, yoga of buddhi. And that is the central teaching of the Gita. Character efficiency comes from buddhi yoga, the yoga of buddhi. That is the teaching of the second chapter. Buddhi yoga, buddhi yoga. Buddhau sharanamanyvichya. Take refuge in that buddhi. Then all life will be wonderful. High character will manifest in a person. So that is the blessing we have to seek from the divine. It is no use asking for this and that. Give me pure buddhi. That is all what I need. Everything else will come through that one single instrument. That is why this Rigvedic prayer, Gayatri, has become the greatest prayer. There we pray for that buddhi. That is the central theme of the Gayatri. Why it is called so great? Because of this. The greatest prayer is prayer for an illumined buddhi. Dhiyo yo na prachodayat. And that was with that dhi, that buddhi, that yoga buddhi referred to here. Tat savitaru varenyam bhargo devasya dhimahi dhiyo yo na prachodayat. A three-line prayer coming in the Rigveda 5,000 years ago with such universal relevance. That is the beauty of that prayer. Here Krishna finds justification for that kind of prayer. I want buddhi, I want buddhi. Good buddhi, sad buddhi, as we call it in normal ethical language. Having said this, Arjuna now begins to speak in praise of Krishna. Till now it was Krishna who was speaking. One more sentence comes from Krishna before I take up Arjuna's words. That is verse 11. Teshameva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atmabhavastho jnanadepena bhasvata. Another wonderful verse. To all such people, tesham eva anukampartham, out of compassion to them. What do I do? He says, aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami. I destroy their darkness and ignorance and delusion, born of ignorance, spiritual blindness. Ajnanajam tamaha nashayami. I destroy. How do I do so? He says, that's a wonderful expression here. Atma bhavastho. I enter into their hearts, or I begin to manifest in their hearts, helping them to achieve this tremendous transformation. All that is dark, all that is delusive are washed away. Bright light of knowledge comes. Everything is clear. That is the blessing that I confer on the devotee without his knowledge. Silently, quietly I do. So, teshameva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami. I destroy that tamas, born of ignorance. How? Atma bhavastho. By entering into them. How? What do I do there? That is a wonderful thing. The next phrase. Jnana depena bhasvata. I light the lamp of knowledge in their heart. Brightens up everything. This is the service the Lord does to his devotee, to his seeker. So that language is so wonderful. Jnana depena bhasvata. The shining lamp of jnana. I light up in the heart of the devotee. Then he will be always on the right path, always towards the divine and towards friendship and love for all beings in the world. That is the type of human transformation that takes place through this type of bhakti combined with jnana as taught in the 9th and now in the 10th chapter. This is a very great verse. Nashayami atmabhavastho jnana deepena bhasvata. Lighting the jnana deepa. Now these are all spiritual ideas. We have symbolic acts to express these great ideas. You enter a house, you light a lamp. What a great spiritual significance they attach to it. For a Hindu home, lighting a lamp in front is a great significance. Its counterpart is here, light within. This is what we can do, but this is a symbol of a greater light we have to get lit in our own hearts. Nobody loves darkness. They want light. They want light. The heart cries for light and not for darkness. And therefore, in the Bhagavad Upanishad, another universal prayer of the human heart is found. Asato ma sadgamaya. Lead me from the unreal to the real. Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya. Lead me from darkness to light. Mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Lead me from death to immortality. This is the prayer of the human heart, found expression in the verse in the Bhagavad Upanishad and in many spiritual books of the world. This human craving for life, light and knowledge. So nashayami atmadipastho jnana deepena bhasvara. Light up jnana vyuga. It is our own responsibility. We struggle. At the last point, the Lord comes and helps us. When we struggle only, He can help. If you are careless, you don't know its value. Suppose God lights the lamp in our heart. We don't want it, we will say. We are not fit for it. We are not ready for it. But when we become sensitive, we struggle, then this great help comes from the divine. So grace comes from being grace-worthy. We prepare ourselves for the touch of that grace. But grace comes. That is how the higher religions of the world have expressed human progress in spirituality. Your own effort and the grace of the divine blending beautifully in all high spiritual development. Saying this, the Gita tells what Arjuna said at that time. He is praising Krishna in this verse. Arjuna Uvacha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. He says, Param Brahma, you are the supreme Brahman. Param Dhama, you are the supreme abode. Paramam Pavitram Bhavan, you are the supremely purifying thing in this world. Then Purusham Shashvatam Divyam, that eternal divine person you are. Adidevam, the primordial divine person. Ajam, unborn. And Vibhum, all pervasive. Saying this, Arjuna says, Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve. All the sages speak about you in this way. He is quoting the sages here. All the sages speak about you in this way, including Devarshir Naradastatha, the great Devarshi Narada. He also speaks of you in this way. Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve. Then other sages also. Asito Devalo Vyasaha. Narada, then Asita, then Devala and Vyasa. All of them speak of you in this way. Even the greatest sages speak of you in this way. If anybody is honored by great people, that honored person is certainly supremely honored person. Ordinary people can praise anybody, but here extraordinary people are also praising the divine. That is the greatness of God Himself. Ahustvam Rishayas Sarve Devarshir Naradas Tatha Asito Devalo Vyasa Swayam Chaiva Praveshime. And you also say the same thing. You are that supreme reality. You are only confirming what the sages have said about you. Swayam Chaiva Praveshime. All this is true, he says. Sarvametat Ratam Manye. All this is, Ratam means true. I consider all this to be true. Ratam Manye. Yanmam Vadasi Keshava. What you have told me just now, I accept it. I consider it as true. Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim. Your personality has no limitation. You cannot be what you call contained in a particular individuality. You are so infinite. Nahite Bhagavan Vyaktim. Vitur Devana Manavaha. No Devas, no Manavas or human beings can really understand the true dimension of your personality. You are infinite in every sense of the term. So, Swayameva Atmana Atmanam Vetatvam Purushottama. You understand yourself. Nobody can understand you, but you can understand yourself. Swayameva Atmana Atmanam Veta. By yourself, you know yourself. Purushottama, or best among men. Bodha Bhavana, so who is the one nourisher of all beings in the world, Bhutesha, the master of all in the world, Deva Deva, the God of gods, Jagatpate, the master of this universe. These are various adjectives Arjuna uses to deal with the greatness of Krishna. Vaktumarhas Yasheshena Divya Hyatma Vibhutaya. All your divine attributes, divine manifestations, you must tell me. I will be very happy to listen to these from your own mouth. Vaktum arhasi. It is fit that you tell me all this. What kind of thing? Divya hi atma vibhutaya. your own divine manifestations. Yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imamstam vyapya tishtasi. By those manifestations by which you fill this universe and remain there. What are they? I would like to know. Arjuna is asking this question. God is transcendental. He is also immanent in the universe. What are those manifestations of divine reality in this world? I would like to know. And a devotee or a bhakta is not interested in the transcendental dimension of the divine. A bhakta is interested in the manifested dimension of the divine, with whom he can communicate, establish love relationship, bhakti relationship. That is the nature of all bhaktas. As Ramakrishna told Narendra or Vivekananda, do you like to sip honey sitting on the edge of the bottle, or you want to get merged in the honey? I don't want to merge in the honey. I want to sip that honey. So Ramakrishna said, don't be frightened. This honey is Sachidananda, infinite consciousness, infinite bliss. You are not going to die there. Therefore, this transcendental dimension of Brahman is a tremendous experience. But as a rule, devotees all over the world, Hindu devotees, Christian devotees, Muslim devotees, all of them, they like to enjoy God as man enjoys another human being. A love relationship established there. So, Vaktumarhasya sheshena divya hyatma vibhutayah yabhir vibhudhibhir lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. By those vibhutis, you are enveloping this whole world. Tell me all of them. All of them is the word he has used here. Krishna will say later on, all of them, how can I say? A few sample I can say. He will say, Katham vidyam aham yogin tvam sada parijintayan kesha kesha cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. He says, how can I understand you, O Lord? Katham vidyam aham yogin, O yogin, how can I understand you? Sada parichintayan, by constantly meditating upon you, how do I come to an understanding of your true nature? O great yogin, Krishna is considered as Mahayogin. Kesha kesha cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. Which are the entities in the world in whom we can imagine you and meditate upon you, because the whole world contains your own manifestation. Give me those forms in which I can meditate upon you. Keshu keshu cha bhaveshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. Vistarena atmano yogam vibhutim cha janardana bhoyak kathaya dhapturhi sunnato nasti me amritam. Please say once again, all these various vibhutis that you have, I am not at all satiated by listening to them. He says, Vistarena atmano yoga, your tremendous yoga power by which the one has become the many. That is the greatest yoga power. The Lord is one, but he has become many in the universe. That's called the yoga power. Vistarena atmano yogam. Extensively tell me about this yoga power by which vibhutim cha janardana, through which you have become manifested as the universe. Tell me that. Bhuyak kathaya truptarhi nasti. I have no trupti, I have no satisfaction. Please tell again. Me amritam. This is something like nectar. To those who can appreciate it, it is nectar. If you have not the capacity to appreciate, then it is not a nectar. A spiritual teaching is a nectar to those who are spiritually inclined. To all others it is nothing. Absolutely meaningless they are. So there is such a thing as the capacity to appreciate greatness. Say Mahatma Gandhi, a thin person, unless we can penetrate that figure of the person, and see the greatness of the man within, how can we understand him? Ordinary people cannot understand. So, God is present in the universe. We must be able to appreciate that presence. That needs some development within ourselves, the capacity for appreciation. It's a remarkable quality in a human being, whether it is art, literature, philosophy, religion. The capacity for appreciation depends upon the cultural level of the individual concerned. We appreciate music, but some people do not appreciate music at all. They don't have that musical ear. Now, we know Indian music. Suppose you find somebody singing Western music, we can't appreciate because we don't know the nature of that music. So appreciation comes from a certain cultural, educational level. When spiritual appreciation comes from a certain spiritual growth in the individual, then appreciation becomes possible. So, how many people can appreciate a Krishna in his lifetime? Very few. Because most people took him to be a mere human being. He himself said in the Gita, Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mama bhutamaheshwaram. People speak ill of me without knowing my higher nature, seeing this little human form of mine, that I am the supreme divine master of this world. They cannot understand. But a few sages understand, and Mahatmas understand. Mahatmanastu mam partha. Those who are Mahatmas, they understand the greatness of God incarnated as a human being. In the New Testament, you will find when Jesus going from place to place, some Jews are looking at him. Is he not the carpenter's son? They say, they know only the carpenter's son. What is inside him, they can't understand. But his disciples understood his greatness. That is how Christianity began. In all these cases, you will find the power of appreciation depends upon the cultural, educational level of the people concerned. We in India have got one tremendous power of appreciation, that when any spiritually great person appears in our midst, we just watch and see how he behaves, and we find he is really genuine, and we appreciate him. We never kill away a spiritual teacher in this country. Never we do so. In other countries, that appreciation is lacking. Jesus, if he were in India, do you think he would have been crucified? Not at all. Here it is not possible, because we see true religion in such centers. A person who lives the spiritual life, we appreciate him. Not merely a scholar or a priest. They are all needed, but secondary. This is primary. Throughout your history, one of the greatest blessings conferred by our culture on our people is this capacity to appreciate a truly spiritual personality. Sometimes he may speak most unpalatable things. Still, if his character is high, they appreciate him. A Buddha, he denounced many of the current religious practices in India at the time, and yet nobody harmed him. We all respected him at that time. He was treated as an enlightened one. Today, Vivekananda, he has criticized the foibles of the Hindu society more fiercely than anybody, and yet we admired him. He is a great soul. We say, in any other country, Buddha and Vivekananda would have been chopped off. Take it for granted. All over the world, it is so. There is a reason behind it. The reason is two. One, we have been taught that religion is not mere belief. It is experience. Not at all belief. Even an unbeliever has a status in our religion. That is number one. Secondly, these great teachers showed in their life high character. all universal, nothing narrow, nothing parochial. Whatever they taught was universal. Manava dharma, not any sectarian, something. This kind of blessing India has got from where? From the philosophy and spirituality of the Upanishads. That has been percolating down all these thousands of years until our people have been educated in this vision. Seek for the spiritual in a person, not for his show, not for his what you call sacerdotal office, a church, a big. This blessing on the Indian people coming from our past has been recognized by many thinkers and writers. But I especially mention the late Pope of the Catholic Church who visited India some years ago, not the recent Pope, but the earlier Pope. In one of his observations in Bombay, this was reported in the Roman Catholic paper in Rome. He asked his assistant, who are these thousands of people here? Are they Catholics? No, sir. Are they Christians? No, sir. That means they are all Hindus. Majority of them all Hindus. Then he said, that is what I see, the greatness of this country. These Hindus came to see in me, not the head of the Catholic Church, not the head of the Christian religion, but a man of God. That is India. That is a wonderful tribute that he made at that time. Literally true. And so, no great religious teacher is killed or persecuted in this country. Remember that. If it were so, Vivekananda would not have lived at all. He would have been killed in the first year itself. So also Buddha. Shankara also was very radical in his own time. And this is Indian wisdom, I call it. Nowhere else it is there. Why did that Baha'u'llah suffer martyrdom in Iran? If Baha'u'llah was here, would he have been killed? Not at all. He had started a reform. Yes, it is up to you. Show your character that you are divine, we worship you. We will honor you. That is the attitude. That means the Hindu has been taught to seek religion in experience, in character, not in profession or in belief. That's why even unbelievers are respected here if they have character. I may be an atheist, but if I have high character, capacity to serve people, we respect him. We don't kill him here. Nowhere else this is there. You can take it for granted. Study the history of the whole world. This is the uniqueness of this India from the time of the Vedas up to date. We have not departed from it, though for want of knowledge of these central features of the Hindu tradition, sometimes we misbehave in the modern period due to various circumstantial difficulties. But that is India, the eternal Amar Bharat, we call it. So this wonderful sentence here said, Vistared Atmano Yogam Vibhutim cha Janardana Bhoya Kathaya Truptarhi Shrunnato Nasti Me Amritam. This immortal story or truth, when I listen to, I am not satisfied at all. I want to hear more and more and more. The Bhakta's reaction to the divine is exactly like this. I want to hear more of it. It is so inspiring. That is the food for my soul. Because we have started getting a hunger of the soul. Hunger of the body is secondary. Hunger of the intellect also secondary. Hunger of the soul is primary. When that hunger comes, these two hungers fall into insignificance. That has been the experience of humanity all over. The Christian saint has the same feeling. He is hungry for the divine, a touch of the divine. He doesn't care for physical glory, physical pleasure, name, fame, nothing. He wants a touch of the soul, marvelous touch of the soul. Sufi saints have the same experience all over. There you can see the universal dimension of what we call religion. India has recognized it Therefore, it respects every religion. We have not been taught this truth. This comes to us in our blood, from our own heritage. We shall preserve it, we shall strengthen it, we shall create a new India based upon it. That's the importance of this particular teaching. Having said this, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Bhagavan says, Hantate kathayashyami divya hyatma vibhutayah pradhanyata kurushrestha nastyan anto vistarasya me. Well, I am going to tell you, he says, my vibhutis, atma vibhutayah. How? Pradhanyata, some essential ones only. Why? Nastyanto vistarasya me. There is no end to my various manifestations in this world. So I'll take a few samples and present them to you, he says. The idea of the glory of God manifested in the universe is a beautiful idea. High poetry has come out of that idea. High spiritual experience has come from that idea. Last Sunday I said Tennyson, Wordsworth, these two British poets have been very much in touch with nature, and through that they developed mystical experiences and they have recorded it in their poems. This is another aspect. This vast universe, a poet's eye sees glory in it. Some divine glory is there. That is what they try to express in poetic language. When Tennyson said, you go into ecstasy by seeing this glory around you. How does he express it? We become asleep in the body and we become a living soul. That is the way he has put it. Become asleep in the body and become a living soul. What a beautiful expression. And so, in all parts of the world, you will find, through art and poetry, you pierce this crust of the external world and see some pulse of the divine all over there. That's the nature of the artistic mind. All art is something that penetrates the external crust of nature. But in spiritual life and experience, it is a complete achievement. And those great sages and saints who have achieved this, none can compare with them. No artist can be compared to a man of high spiritual experience. You can see it for yourself. A Buddha came. What happened? His life, an example, produced thousands of artists, thousands of writers, authors, etc. Similarly, Jesus. How many artists, bumper number of artists, coming to express the Christ experience? That is their primacy. The greatest human being is that divine personality who gives inspiration to writers, artists, dramatists, all to represent them in their own writing. They are very rare in world's history. That's a language Krishna uses here. Pradhanyata kurushreshta nastyanto vistarasya me. My vistara means my spreading or pervasiveness in the world. There is no end to it. It is infinite, you can say. I shall select a few sample manifestations for the purpose of your meditation, says Krishna. And the first manifestation Krishna presents before you all is, the next shloka says, shloka 20, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Sthita. Beautiful. I am the self hidden in the heart of all beings in this world. Not in the heart of Hindus only, or Vaishnavas only. The heart of all beings. I am the self. Like the thread that runs through a garland of pearls, making for the unity of the pearl. That garland. That is the Lord described in the Gita earlier. My sarvamidam protam sutre manigana eva. So here he says that I am the self, the Atman, in the heart of all beings. Ahamatma. Gudakesha is Arjuna's name. Sarvabhuta Ashaya Sthita. I am in the heart, Ashaya means inner heart, of all beings. Ant, worm, everything. There is not anything in the world in the heart of which the Lord is not there. That is a supreme truth which can be highly appreciated by physical science today. As I gave the example last 2 weeks ago, in this solar system, we can definitely say there is nothing that is not impregnated by solar radiation. Everything, stones, flowers, leaves, food, digestion, everything is irradiated by solar radiation. Similarly, since the world has come from Brahman, who is of the nature of Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, as the Taittiriya Upanishad said, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Brahman is Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, infinite. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyomanna. Where shall you find him? In your own heart. Not somewhere in the sky, far away beyond the universe, not at all. Yo Veda Nihitam, hidden, Guhayam, in your own cavity of the heart. Nihitam, hidden. You have to discover it. That's why a little struggle is needed. Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyomanna, in the supreme cavity of the heart. Not at the surface, but in the depth. In many aspects of our literature, you find the concept of a cave. The whole inner life is like a cave in which this Atman is hidden. That is why later on in our culture, not only both, three, Hindu, Jain, Buddhist, they all created so many caves. Here, there, Bombay, Bhubaneswar, everywhere, these caves. And you sit there in meditation. The cave has got a high value from that point of view. So, Parame Vyomanna, supreme space of the heart, or the emptiness of the heart. The word Vyoma means space. It also means the sky. It also means emptiness. What is space? Emptiness. That's a language. Parame Vyomanna. That person achieves the highest in this very life, said the Taittiriya Upanishad. Similarly here, says, Ahamatma Gudakesha Sarvabhutashaya Sthitah. Aham Adischa Madhyam Cha Bhutanam Anta Evacha. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings in this world. That is the nature of the ultimate reality. I am repeating this point. The way Indian philosophy approaches this subject of cosmology is perfectly acceptable to any astrophysicist of the modern period. They also trace everything to one behind the many. From one, the many has come, and the one exists in the many. Everything is here, but in the beginning it was undifferentiated. Now it has become differentiated as the universe. That is astrophysics. There is also Vedanta. But they will call it a material something. We will call it pure consciousness, infinite and non-dual. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. Truth, infinity, knowledge and consciousness, that is Brahman. Behind this universe, that is the truth. That is why you see consciousness in you and me. If it were not there in the cause, how can it come in the effect? That is a wonderful argument today against materialism. So many scientists also like this idea. I am quoting Fred Hoyle. No, not Fred Hoyle, came last year here. Our famous writer of Tao of Physics, where he says, the Brahman of the Hindus, the Dharmakaya of the Buddhists, and the Tao of the Taoists are more complete background realities of the universe than what physical science gives us today. Physical science explains only the material universe. What about the non-material aspect of the universe? They cannot explain it. But we can explain both. Therefore, he said that this is the comprehensiveness of the Indian approach to the nature of the cosmos. Whatever is in the effect alone can appear in the cause. What is not in the effect cannot come in the cause. Out of nothing, something cannot come. That is simple scientific logic. So he said, I am the Atman in the heart of all beings. I am the beginning, the middle, and the end of all beings. From God we came, in God we exist, unto God we return. Using the word God in the Vedantic sense of the term, not something extra cosmic, but as the one primordial reality, as the infinite consciousness, which has spread out into the vast universe in which you and I live. We are also part of it itself. That's why there is complete oneness between us, even nature outside. We are not separate. Nature and we are part and parcel of the same reality. So we don't destroy nature according to our philosophy. In the West, it was different. Dualistic attitude. So you destroy nature. You treat it as an enemy to be conquered. We don't accept that idea. And today also, all those who speak of ecology today, they accept the Indian idea. Nature is not something foreign to us. We are all part and parcel of that infinite whole. That is where this teaching becomes very, very relevant. So I finished this sloka. Ahamatma gudakesha sarvabhutashi yastitaha ahamadischa madhyamcha bhutanam anta evacha. We shall take up the remaining verses next Sunday and onwards. Before we close, I wish to make an announcement. 23rd is Krishna Janmashtami. There will be special worship in the temple, 6:30, Arati. 7 to 7:30, Swami Ananyananda will read from Srimad Bhagavatam. 7:30 to 8:30, there will be puja of Sri Krishna as well as bhajan. All are welcome to participate on that occasion. And I also propose to feed a few slum people nearby on that day in the name of Sri Krishna. Let them also enjoy. And the money has come from a Vedanta student of Stockholm, Sweden. From that distance he writes, Janmashtami you are having, I am sending you 2,500 rupees. Please do whatever you think proper. So this will be the program on that occasion. We shall spend a minute in silence and then disperse. Vasudevasutam devam kamsachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Salutations to Sri Krishna, the teacher of the world, the beloved of Devaki, the destroyer of evil forces. To him be our salutation.